Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have a look at our modification that we did to our CSL pedals, but this does not only apply to CSL Fanatec pedals, it applies to Logitech, Fanatec, Logitech, Thrustmaster, doesn't matter what you use, you can still modify this sort of similarly. So yeah, look at the consistency. I will show a picture right here. Look at this is my example that how fine you can press your accelerator, because between 90 and 100 is where your throttle control lies in sim racing. It's the last 20% of your throttle control. That's where your speed is coming from. And if you look at the brake pedal, it's going to be exactly, look how precise I can be with my braking on the last 20% of it, so that's very important. People always ask me, Sim, how do you get so consistent? How do you reach, top 200-300 global rank in Gran Turismo? That's how I do it. So on the left-hand side, we've got a normal standard non-load cell CSL pedal Fanatec. It's got a elastomer in the inside, to simulate heavy braking, resistance basically. But what we are going to, there's the elastomer. What we are going to do, other people just put a little thingy inside that elastomer. Look at the amount of travel that you can get out of it. A brake pedal never travels that much. And remember, travel distance reduces your accuracy and your precision, in my opinion, and your response time. So there's a hole there. What we are going to do, if you look at the travel that it's got there. So what we are going to do, I'll give you what we're going to need. It's plain simple. Threaded rod that I put on a slight little angle. This is 8mm threaded rod, size 13. Nuts that I've got on there, 1/2 inch for the Americans. I'm going to put it in there and put a rubber stopper on the top. This is what we're going to need. You're going to need the normal potentiometer pedal, brake pedal. That's for the potentiometer, guys. A threaded rod with one of those long little nuts, another locking nut at the bottom. So you're going to need 3 nuts, one long nut, and some sort of a rubber stopper to stop the pedal from making noise when you go to full brake. That's how we're going to do it. I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible. As you can see right there, I put a little plastic washer. You can put any sort of washer on there for the type of rubber that you use, just so that it doesn't make a clicking noise when you apply the full brake. Sorry about my hands, the way they look. I've had a rough week at work. I am a mechanic, so my hands got smashed up this week. But anyway, this is the whole concept that I've got. I can't tell you what degrees I bend the threaded rod at. So like I said, you've got the nut on top, the long nut from the top, and then the 2 locking nuts at the bottom to lock it in place. And then we've got this little rubber that I got from work. You can use any rubber that can fit in there from a hardware store. It's up to you. It's just so that it doesn't make a noise, and it must have a little bit of a leeway to keep so that you can do that final precision braking. So like I said, I'm going to keep this video as short as possible. I don't want to bore you too much. See the results and the bolt. So we're going to bolt this threaded rod onto the pedal itself, and we're going to tighten it down. And you will see that on the back of the pedal there's a small little pedal plate bolt that we're going to use if you've got a certain rubber. So we're going to tighten this down right there, and then we're going to apply the rubber stopper on the top. Just going to push that over that nut, and then if you push the brake pedal, you'll see how little travel it's got now, so you can be more precise with your braking. That's the finished product, and you will see way less travel. And then you've got leeway. Look at the travel here to where it was. See, now you can be more precise, and you've got that last little bit leeway so that you can be precise on your braking. That's with the with a potentiometer brake pedal. Then we're going to move over to this normal accelerator pedal. We're going to do this differently for the accelerator, for the brake and the load cell. So if you look right here, we're looking at the accelerator pedal. Look at the amount of travel we've got there. It's quite a lot of travel, so it can cause you to be not so consistent on your acceleration because you've got a lot of travel. In my opinion, less travel means more response. You can be more responsive. And that's how I got to the top global ranks. We've got the same principle here. The only thing is, like I said, now I've got a different rubber stopper there on top. It's just, like I said, it's stuff that I have laying around. You can use any rubber that you can find. You can even use the standard, door rubbers, door stopper rubbers that you get from the hardware. It's all up to you. We're going to tighten this down on the accelerator as well, and we're going to reduce the travel of the pedal itself, which is extremely important, so that you can be way more precise on your braking and acceleration. Right, and then we're going to put this little rubber that's also a sort of a cupboard rubber that stops a cupboard from making noise when you close it. They're making that banging noise. That's going to go on the back of the pedal Allen wrench. How can I say, the head of it? And look at that, way less travel. You can adjust it according to your liking. That's why I use the long thread right there. You can adjust it just as you like. And yeah, way less travel. So that's the important thing. And then on the other side, this is a CSL load cell pedal. So what I've done right here, I've got like a bunch of springs that I bought online. You get a box full of different load, different size springs. I used the standard little plastic, and then I used another rubber that I cut so it can fit nice. It's a taper spring right there. It's quite a heavy load spring. You can't press it with one finger. Like that you can press it, but it's still heavy load. It's about 40 kilograms of pressure that it needs, round about there. I don't know, it might be 60 pounds, round about there. Then what we've got is the normal elastomers that comes with the load cell pedal. You're going to put them in there. Make sure the spring that you use fits over those, because that's going to be your stoppers, that your brake pedal doesn't travel too far until you have to adjust your brake pedal. And remember guys, after you did this, you have to go and do pedal calibration both for your accelerator and your braking. So that's the only travel we've got. There's that little bit there. You can play around with it like to your personal preference. This is what I did, and this is what works so good for me. I gave this, before I made this video, I tested the waters and I gave it to a lot of people, and they said, Sim, you really have to make a video about it. So that's what I'm doing. And we can fit this right back in there, and I'll show you how the pedal actually acts as we are using it. So let's turn it to the side. You'll see that those elastomers, they stop the pedal. You see it stops it before the spring bottoms out. So let's take a close up and you will see what I mean. It stops the pedal. You get that stopping point, and then if you press it a little bit further, you can, that's the last bit of 20% that you get that, trail braking, because you can clearly feel it on your foot, and that's why this is so important. You can feel that last bit on your foot very, very good. So that's how you can be very precise with your trail braking. You can play around with those rubbers. You can use softer ones, you can use harder ones. It's all up to you. And then on this accelerator side, look at the leeway it gets there. That's how I get that 20%, to get my my exits on my because people say, Sim, why don't you ever spin out? That's why I do spin out every now and then if I'm stupid, but this is the reason why I can reach the times that I do and do so much precise braking and acceleration in sim racing. It's quick fix, it's a simple fix, it's a cheap fix. You use what you've got. I mean, it's nothing else. But if this has helped you in any means possible, please leave me a comment. I would really appreciate to hear your inputs. If it helped you, what's your opinion on it? And if it maybe worked for you or maybe not, I would really appreciate it. And guys, if you would be so kind, drop a like on the video. It will help me significantly. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.